You won't feel it right away, but the house you buy in your 40s could quietly work against you for the next decade. Buy a house that grows with you, not one that holds you back. Let's dive in. Hey guys, this video today is not about curb appeals, colors, or paint, or anything. It's about the house you're buying in your 40s. And yes, most recent data shows there are a lot of buyers that could be buying their first home in their 40s, or maybe upgrading into their forever home in their 40s, not in their 30s. And remember, at some point, you're going to be 50, you're going to be 60, you're going to be 70. And what I'm seeing right now is a lot of these homes are working against you. So let's talk about different points I have and mistakes people are making. Mistake number one: choosing a home that will not age with you and your loved ones. Right now, I get it. You feel energetic. You can go up and down those steps into the basement, take care of the backyard, pruning all those branches. And, that's fine. A little injury here and there or cut is not a big thing because you're full of energy and you can do a lot of these things. But eventually, you won't be able to do a lot of those things. But you're going to be stuck in this house. And yes, you will have equity in the property that you are in, which is great. It's an amazing thing. But you could also be hating this property because of the maintenance that it requires. You see, as you age, sometimes homes become a burden for homeowners. And that's what you say. And you hear the phrase about the empty nesters. But the reality is that empty nesters are not waiting only for their kids to move out of the property. Empty nesters have to have a plan to downsize to another type of property. And that is one of the things that you will be facing as you buy your home. So some of the structural issues you will face is the house has probably too many stairs. There is a type of construction here in Montgomery County, Maryland, that we call it an stackable townhouse. And this is a townhouse that are the first two levels is one property, and right on top of that, there are two other levels. That is the second unit. But from the front of the house, from the entrance of the house, all the way to the third floor, there is quite a lot of steps. Imagine coming with the packets of water from Costco, and you have to go all those steps up there. And let's be honest, these builders are not making these houses thinking that you will be aging in this home. These are homes, stepping stone homes, as I call them. So there, you most likely will have to move out of that property if you're thinking this is your forever house. Narrow doors and hallways also, it's another big issue with homes of this type because they're doing choosing going vertical versus horizontal. And when you go vertical, you have to make them narrower than other type of structure. So that always has a big issue. I had a client that bought one of these properties, didn't take into consideration the beautiful, almost brand new king size bed that he paid almost $8,000 that could not fit into this house he bought. He didn't think about it. He was just all really excited about the purchase of a house. So these are things that we have to really, really, really be careful about it. The lack of ground floor bathrooms, it's another big issue. Imagine in this stackable home scenario or a 4-level townhouse with no elevator that you come in and you have not even a powder room on the very first level. This creates a lot of issues and urgencies, and who knows, potential accidents. So be careful when you buy this type of property. So what is the solution for this? You have to find and try to purchase a house that it has flexible layout solutions for you, especially those that may have potentially a bedroom on the main level as well as a full bathroom, because then this will allow you to age in place with this property. Or let's say you get into an accident and you all of a sudden are walking around with crutches, right? This can be a big issue. So that's it. Let's now move to issue number two: underestimating the long-term maintenance of a property. Yep, you heard it. Long-term maintenance. Long-term maintenance. The bigger the home, it costs you a lot more money, but not only the money, the maintenance. It's one thing to cool down or warm up a 1,800 square feet home. It's a whole nother thing to do the same on a 4,000 square feet home. So think about also the expenses and the long term maintenance of something like this. Some of the expensive things to repair in homes like this one will be siding, windows, old HVAC systems, aging roofs. So it's a lot of things that you have to take into consideration. Then, you can also become see a oversized yard. And a lot of people tell me, Robert, we want to have a beautiful big backyard. First question I always ask them is, how are you going to maintain this? Are you going to hire someone? Or are you going to do it yourself? And most of them, they say, no, we'll do it ourselves. Guess what? By like 2, 3 months living into the property, I get a phone call asking me for a referral if I know a good landscaping company that they can hire and come over and start working doing their backyard. Because guess what? They just realized how painful it can be, especially on a 90-degree weather in the summer here in Maryland, the Washington, D.C. area. Multiple HVA zones, high ceilings can make it very complex. And these complex systems sometimes, I recently had the opportunity to visit a townhouse that it has two HVAC units. But when the potential buyer looked at it and says, Robert, why do I need two units? I said, well, let me explain to you. Because this house has 4 levels. So one unit serves the first 2 levels, and the other unit that it's in up in the attic serves the top 2 levels. So he says, but that seems a lot of expenses. What if both units break at the same time? Exactly. That is the problem. What if both of them break at the same time? So not only consider the mortgage, your principal, interest, taxes, and insurance, HOA, condo fees, and other things related to it. Also think about the maintenance. Do you want to be? Are you going to be able to keep a house like this that requires a lot of maintenance for the next 10, 15 years or more than that? So think about that. Do a cost analysis of what would it cost you. Thankfully, here in Montgomery County, buyers have the opportunity to receive a utility cost sheet that it shows what the previous sellers have been paying in gas, electricity, and oil. So, which is a good thing to have if you're buying a house in the near future. And a lot of people tell me, Robert, we want to have a beautiful big backyard. First question I always ask them is, how are you going to maintain this? Are you going to hire someone? Or are you going to do it yourself? And most of them, they say, no, we'll do it ourselves. Guess what? By like 2, 3 months living into the property, I get a phone call asking me for a referral if I know a good landscaping company that they can hire and come over and start working doing their backyard. Because guess what? They just realized how painful it can be. Not only consider the mortgage, your principal, interest, taxes, and insurance, HOA, condo fees, and other things related to it. Also think about the maintenance. Do you want to be? Are you going to be able to keep a house like this that requires a lot of maintenance for the next 10, 15 years or more than that? My third point is ignoring structural resale challenges. What works for your family right now might be very tough to sell to a potential new homeowner down the road when you become a seller. You see, all layouts and properties, boxy layouts that don't offer a open floor plan concept, it's no longer appealing to a lot of future buyers. You see, here, traditionally speaking, a Cape Cod property that it only has a one full bathroom upstairs with 2 bedrooms, it's no longer appealing to a lot of families. Rather, they invest the money in a colonial home with 2 full bathrooms upstairs and maybe 3 or 4 bedrooms, which can actually allow them to have the space they need for a growing family. Think about the functionality of a good layout for your family. Outdated finishes, unusual floor plans, as I said, and maybe garage spaces that have been converted into a more of like a living space, sometimes may not be necessarily the right thing for a growing family. Over customize a property, it's also another big problem. I've seen a lot of people that wanted to buy the most expensive stove that it's out in the market to put it in a house that is not going to bring them the money they wanted to. So what happened as a result of that, they have now to take this stove. I'm talking a Viking. I'm talking a 10, 12, $15,000 a stove. Now they're going to take this stove into the new house. But think about the logistic of it. If a gas, you have to get a plumber to unplug it. Then you have to load it in the truck, take it to the new home, do all those things. And if you want to sell it outside on the secondary market, there may not be a buyer for something like this. It's not like a vehicle. So things like that sometimes don't age well. So just customize your home for the area, for the neighborhood, not necessarily for everything that you want to have in your wish list. Solution to this problem is buy with a strategy in mind. Even if you don't plan to move out of this property for the next 20 to 30 years, you at least are buying something with a good strategy. Not paying attention, my issue number four is not paying attention over the fine print when it comes to financing and the renovation potential. You want flexibility. Maybe you want to renovate later or make changes as you need. So, what are the issues you can may face here? Homeowners association restrictions. Some houses are in a HOA and a condo association. They look like a house, but they also have a condo. They may have some restrictions of things that you may not be able to do as you want or as your family grows. Loan terms that may penalize you for an early repayment or certain limits they may impose on how much money you can borrow back if you're going to be taking money from your equity to do the renovations that you want. Buying a fixer upper without knowing the structural issues is one of the biggest problems that a lot of people I see regretting. Many times a lot of homeowners give up in the middle of the process of renovating these because they underestimated certain things, the cost, the time, the contractor. Particular issue is understanding your financing options. I will always say get two estimates on your financial. I always say take two estimates on your financing options to buying a house. Not only that, also think about if you're going to be buying this house and you want to make these renovations, you got to be thinking about the stuff that you could be able to do. I remember I had a realtor that I was coaching many years ago, and he came to me just right after they went under contract on this property. Well, guess what? There was a beautiful house, close to $1 million, sitting on 1 acre lot. This buyer was wanted to buy this house because this buyer wanted to build a swimming pool in the backyard. And as they're going through the process, they found out the homeowners association didn't allow the type of swimming pool he wanted it to build over there. So when he wanted to back out of the deal, it was a little bit too late. Putting their $50,000 deposit at risk. Very, very risky. So don't make that mistake. And the very last mistake I always see people making is going in through this process alone without expert guidance. I get it. We don't really want to have somebody, especially an annoying realtor, tell you what to do when buying a house. No. But even if it is your first home or it's not your first home, you're most likely always going to need some guidance. So things that a professional, and remember, a realtor should be someone that should have the resources to assist you in this process, like an stager, interior decorator, home inspector, pest control companies, radon, you name it, everybody. But uh, choosing poor layouts for aging is a big problem that you can make if your agent is not assisting you or coaching you well. Skipping inspection items can also have a long term issue for you and your family, especially if you're going to have little kids living with you at the house. Overlooking zoning issues or code structures, or as I said, homeowners association, stuff like that, that gives you a lot of issues. So make sure that you bring a real estate agent that is super knowledgeable. They understand your now, your near future, and your long term future for the type of property that you want to buy for you and your family. That's it, everybody. So let me just summarize everything understand. Number one is don't buy that house that has the stairs that you will hate later down the road. Plan for maintenance like a subscription, just like a Netflix. Think of a structure and lifestyle. They go hand in hand all the time. Read every financing term that is put out to you. Ask or seek legal guidance if needed. Get a team, not just a deal. That's very important. Remember, you're not just buying a house for today. You're buying a house for the next 10, 20, 30 years. That's it. Okay, everybody, I'm Robert Garcia here. I am your local real estate agent, and I'm always trying to help you navigate all the in and outs, the craziness of this unpredictable real estate market. If you like content like this, do me a favor, give it a like, thumbs up, subscribe if you want to see more content like this. I promise to deliver this to you. If you want to get a hold of me, all my contact information is below. Thank you. Take care. Bye bye.